Hey y'all, it's Leah. Welcome back to my series on creating a junk journal ideas book. So we have our, this is going to be my ideas book that I just have random pages. So we have some of the things that we've made in the past. We had an accordion pocket tag. So I'm just making these out of white copy paper and just making templates and putting some notes on them so that way I can refer back to this anytime I'm making a journal. Because I don't know about you, but I sometimes fall into a rut of just doing plain pockets or like a plain belly band, and I just want to have some new ideas or just, be able to revisit some ideas of things that I've done in the past, maybe for a swap or a one-off thing that I want to recreate, but I always forget about. And just so I'm not defaulting to my same old tired things. So today we are going to make layered pockets. These are super easy. It just takes 4 pieces of paper and circle punch or any kind of punch you have to make a little thumb notch, and that's it. And then whatever you want to decorate with it. So this is what the finished one will look like. And so it's got 5 tuck spot or 5 pockets for you is what you end up with. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 at the top. And then I just finished mine off with some lace at the bottom, and if I put it on a page I would put it at the bottom so it hung out, because I like having things hang out of my journals. So that's how I would do that one. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, super easy. All it takes is for this size, I just used 4 little pieces of paper that are 2.5 by 4. I happen to use double-sided cardstock, but you can totally use single-sided if you had just 2 different patterns. But mine, this is some of the remnants of mine, so it was a double-sided, so I just cut one thing into 4 pieces and then flipped 2 of them over. So it's totally up to you how you want to do that. You could even make it 4 of the same cardstock. That's totally fine. I find for this one, cardstock is probably necessary. Some of the things that I make can be made with copy paper, if you print digitals or if you have double-sided copy paper. But this one, in order for the pockets to work, I think they need to be cardstock to be sturdy enough. But this can be done any size. You could even do something like, I was thinking about it earlier, you could make them smaller. Probably do it this way. No, gotta be that way with the thumb notches. You can make it smaller and do more of them and have it be a belly band. So you could do them smaller and have it be a side tuck. So lots of different ideas for this that you can like scale up or down, or make it longer or shorter. You don't have to do 4, you could do 3. So whatever you want to do. So the first thing you're going to do is cut your 4 pieces of paper. The size I'm using is 2.5 by 4, but again, it can be any size. And then I'm going to put all of mine together. Sometimes with double-sided cardstock, that's not always the easiest thing to do. You might have to do 2 at a time, but you want to have your thumb notches pretty even. Of course, I make paper fly. But that way I've got that. If you're going to ink, now is when you would do your inking, because we're ready to assemble. To do this, you can, if you're doing it on a page, if you want it to go across the page, you're going to want to lay out and see how they are kind of fitting across. Let me get that one torn apart. There we go. So if you'd kind of want to play with it to make sure your spacing is right and then start gluing. But it's totally up to you. Like, I just sort of made mine random because I'm not too worried. I don't know what page it's going to go on in my journal yet. And so I'm not worried about it fitting perfectly. And so all you're going to do, you're going to start with your bottom one. I just glue about halfway or a little, maybe about 3/4. Now this next part is up to you. I didn't glue the backs, so my things can slide through, and I did that because if I had longer pieces, I wanted them to be able to slide all the way, especially for like this part. I didn't want to limit myself to just this much space. And I figure it's getting glued down to a journal, so nothing's going to fly out. So I didn't glue here, but you can totally, you do you. Again, that's my favorite thing about junk journaling is there are no rules and it's only paper. So if you mess up, you can usually fix it, or it's, you know, maybe it just goes in the garbage or you use it as scraps. Tear off what you can. So now I'm just repeating that process. And I'm just sort of eyeballing it. I'm definitely an eyeballer, journaler. I kind of like the look of things not being perfect, which is pretty funny for me because I am generally a perfectionist in my life. But I feel like that's why I really like junk journaling, because I don't have to be a perfectionist. It's the one time I get to be creative, and I've never considered myself to be an artist. But I finally feel like I've found my thing where I can be creative and feel like I am being an artist. So there you go. That's that's the whole thing. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then one thing in the top. That is it. All right, so now we're going to put that in our journal. And see if I need to write any notes. What I like about using the white copy paper is that I can write notes to myself. Let's figure out where I want to do this. Maybe we'll just go here. And so we do want that pocket at the top, so we're only going to glue the sides. And this, no, how do I need to do this? Oh, it's making me think. I think I'm just going to glue, that's what we'll do. I'm just going to glue a little bit there and a little bit there. Just because I don't want it flopping all around. And then that still gives me enough space to slide. If I was going to slide something in there, I can still get that in there. And then I'm going to glue my label. I like labeling these just so I can see really quickly what it is. And I don't think I really need any other notes on this one, because I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. So we are done. That was pretty quick and easy. So I hope to see you next time. Bye, y'all.